Hey, Mass from BonkTable. Amulet D20 Twitch break time list review. We got Kukster, who is playing Dwagholm Tempered Creed. Boop, 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 boop. We got that Ogam coin. Lift the roof. This fine gentleman is running Tempered Steel Shaper. He's got the Pharaonic Throne, so he's going to be sitting on top of that glorious stone forge. And we're going to look at the Rune Parade in a moment because I remember it doing something, and I think it was based upon spending tokens. As previously mentioned, if you had caught or hadn't seen the other Dwagholm stuff, especially the Tempered Sorcerer run, these lists should be able to generate and play out with enough tokens that the max of 10 is literally there just to not have them gain too far and get too much. As I dirtle with that, just pulled up the Runeforge plate. They can spend up to 2 markers from your pool. If the character spends 1 marker, they get +1 attack. If the character spends 2, they get +3 attack. So it's just more attacks. This is actually good on him because the Steel Shaper has Smite innately now, and getting more Smites is just going to be better for him. I've talked about his spells. Honed Blades, it will give you rerolling 6s and deadly if you are tempered. Unmake Armor, the attunement value is whatever the defense value, and Tempered Plate is Indom 1, Tenacious 1 on a friendly. Unmake Armor, it'll really depend. It's probably going to be fine on D3 stuff, bringing them down to 2 and then getting hit by your cleave, but being Defense 4, that I feel is going to be the hard part, and that's going to be like a lot of primary targets for Unmake Plate, getting them down from D4 to D3. However, the Tempered Steel Shaper is Wizard 7, and they can spend elemental tokens to increase their wizard level up to 10. There is a chance he can do it. At that point, rolling 10 dice and getting 4 successes is very much in the realm of possibility. I believe it's successes. Let's just really quick it. It's attunement X. So the target's attunement value is equal to the target regiment's defense characteristic. Ah! You don't even need to do that. The higher the armor, the easier it is to cast. Fucking Dwagholm winning! Look at that! Learning something new every day. I should just review more lists and maybe I'll learn the whole game. Let's check out his warband. So he's got 2 Infernal Automatas and a Stoneforge. Infernal Automata's stock has gone up by switching from restricted to mainstay. You can only have 2. That's perfectly good enough. This does help out a lot of lists get into their big juicy bits while also having their role fulfilled with this fast Temper Forge unit. Defensively, they're good. Wounds, resolve defense, it's fine. Aura Death 4 is good. They are fluid, weirdly enough. The only thing I'd ever say poorly about them is their Clash 2. That one's going to kind of be annoying every once in a while, but you can choose to either add +1 March or +2 Impact. So, March charging with a Fluid, getting a bunch of impact attacks when you spend your elemental power tokens, you're going to be good. Then we got the Stoneforge. I've kind of talked about this thing in the Steel Shaper and his Supremacy. Every time a regiment, I believe, awakens, or whenever they do their spend elemental power tokens, I got to be remembered how this actually works. Let's check out the Supremacy. Whenever they become awakened, they heal 2, so that's just going to keep everyone up on health, and then once per game, he can just heal 5, so that's all going to bring a stand back. The Stoneforge is going to be infuriating to kill because it's going to be healing 3 every time it spells elemental tokens, what's going to be really good for it. As for army rules, all forge residents gain a draw event. They spend markers from the pool to gain a bonus mentioned under empowerment. When they spend a marker for the purposes of empowerment, it is immediately considered awaken. So yeah. Anytime these guys do their empowerment, they're healing. Infernal Automata healing, really annoying. Stoneforge healing, really annoying. Because they're going to spend elemental power tokens to gain 3 health. And then heal an additional 2. Why? It's got 20 wounds and just healed a quarter of its health in one go. Fuck. God. Oh my god. Too good. Too good. Let's get into our next warband. That's a Lost Ancestor. He's running the Champion Horns. What I believe kind of gives him another attack off the top of my head. We will just do a double check. It is another attack. So he goes up to attack 6. It's 5 base. That's going to be really slow on him. He has chosen... What has he chosen here? It's Steel School. A lot of people going to Steel School, it seems. I don't mind that. There's a lot of utility in it and more like just buffing units out of it, and it's more controlled by the player by going into Steel School. while not focusing on your opponent, who if they're not in the range of your spells, you're missing out on power tokens. Because once again, every time one of these wizards casts a spell, they generate more tokens. The 10 token is just a soft cap to keep them under control and force them to spend and not have a million of them. He's running double Fire Forge and Steel Forge, all MSUs. Yeah, that's fine. He's got Fire Forge for the walls of his castle. He's got a Stone Forge for the centerpiece. Steel Forge with the loss is going to be doing a lot of work. And then Infernal Automata just holding out along and being melee threats. This gets into our third warband, which is an Argent Kirawa with double Flame Berserker and Wardens. He's going to be sitting in the Wardens. Flame Berserkers are still really good. With the Stone Forge on the table, it'll provide them some defensive cover from shooting, because that is currently one of their weaknesses and they have to be careful about. However, they will not be generating elemental tokens, and they will not be getting the buffs from being tempered, because they are not. They are ardent. So they will not be getting deadly blades. They will only get rerolling 6s. But at Clash 3 inspiring to 4, rerolling 6s on Flame Berserkers is going to be really good for them. The Ardent Kirawa has litanies of victory, so it's going to be always awaken on his unit. He has to go into the Wardens. The Flame Berserkers, I believe, have a rule that says they cannot be joined by a character anymore. Let's have a quick look at those Flame Berserkers. Is it Life or Glory? Yeah, Life or Glory. Do not have a resolve characteristics. Considered to already pass morale or resolve. A character does not be attached to this regiment. The regiment does not become broken. If it were to become broken, it immediately becomes awakened. And when they're awakened, they get lethal demise +2. So is that just no? Because you go back to sleep at the start of the next round. So could you break, heal, break again, and just get lethal demise +4 for some freaking weird reason? That'd be weird. Like, the lethal demise +2 thing is kind of weird, and I'm pretty sure someone's going to try and abuse it to get lethal demise like +4, +6 for some weird thing. But with that, I think it's a good list. I think the dip into Ardent isn't bad. It provides the Wardens that are a good medium piece trader. Flame Berserkers are still solid. Just keep them away from guns. Fire Forge are still solid. Like, a lot of this is still really good. It should be generating enough tokens off of the Steel Shaper, the Lost Ancestor, the 2 units of Fire Forge, the Steel Forge, like all of the tempered portion of it should be generating enough tokens to do what it needs to do to reduce defense. Because, like, think about it. If you're defense 3, get unmaked armor, go down defense 2, and a Flame Berserker unit hits you, who are Clash 4 rerolling 6s, probably gonna die to Flame Berserkers. And then, like, maybe if you live a little bit, activate Aura Death 4 kicks in, and you burn to death, and you're like, yay, I love this. So I do like the little dip into Ardent. I don't know if Ardent will be providing tokens. That will have to be a clarification and check on the army rule. It might be only tempered regiments or tempered characters when they cast spells. They have forge elemental tokens. All forge regiments gain this draw event. In addition, a forge regiment, if it hasn't used its draw event, gains a power token. Yeah. So when a friendly tempered character casts a spell. Yep. So the Ardent Kirawa is not going to add tokens. So just got to be careful with that. But I do like the dip into Ardent. I think it'll round out the melee force in the tempered list and should be doing well. Overall, I like where this list is going. I think it has legs. I think it can do well for itself. It's going to be playing a declined castle, but it should be fast enough to fight back and get in a good position. It is running 4 lights, but these 4 lights are all very dangerous, and each opponent has to be careful and worry about them. However, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 scoring regiments. So he does have to be careful that he doesn't lose all his scoring regiments and then is unable to score. But the lights, if they all, roll on 4 downs turn 1, should be able to push that line of reinforcement to the point where he can still be holding on to the zones and not have the Dwight problem of not being on the zone and being blocked out and not being able to kill his opponent fast enough to push them off the zone and then score it out to win. I think this combines the powers of both the castle and the speed of art. It should do well if played correctly, and I hope Christian does very well at Amulet D20. So let's get into another list and see who else is playing what.